All right. Welcome back to another season of New York Knicks basketball. This is the 25-26 season. So we kick off tonight against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Unfortunately, we may have some injuries. Now, before we start, please hit the like, comment, subscribe button. Let us know what you think. We're going to try to come to you every day, at least 12 hours after a game. So the Knicks play tonight. We play Cleveland Cavaliers at 7 o'clock. Now, the thing for me is that we're starting the season with injuries. And our whole makeup all summer was that the Knicks was a #1 seed coming out of the East because of our other rivalries. They all had major key injuries that was going to hinder them this season. And as it turns out, now we have some injuries. They're supposed to be knick-knack injuries, but whatever it is, 2, maybe 3 of our core rotation players won't be playing tonight. Now, Josh Hart, we knew was out. He only played a couple of minutes in the preseason. Not so much concerned about him because when he do get in, you can pluck him anywhere on the court. He's going to be effective in the way that he plays. Mitchell Robinson is a concern for me. We need him to start the season just for the morale aspect of the game. Now you have to take the precaution because we don't know the seriousness of his injury, but just the fact that he may not play today or maybe even a few games, if that's the case, to me that is a little bit of a concern, but not the end of the world. I was shocked to hear that Karl Anthony Towns could be a game time decision. Now that also raises a couple of eyebrows into how we're going to get out and do this new master plan of running up and down the court. But we still have the captain, Jalen Brunson. We will substitute Yabusele Hockporty, and then hopefully Trey Jameson could be on the roster if needed and, apply some center backup duties. Now, looking at tonight's game, we said that would getting off to a bad start hurt the New York Knicks. Because one thing we know about the Knicks crowd, as much as everybody love them, they'll turn on you quick. And you have to take in consideration of the injuries, but because of the core players that we do have coming back from last year, it should help us in, diagramming some plays, get some things out in the open and work on coach's new system to try to make a smoother transition. It is my thought tonight that if those guys are out, we're going to see a heavy dose of Jalen Brunson, which really wasn't a part of the game plan. But this is why you're an all-star. You're an all-star to pick up the slack when other people are not there. I'm happy to see how we start. I'm happy to see how our bench players now who will get some extra minutes fulfill their roles. And then hopefully down the line when we do have everybody healthy, now we know when we go to those bench guys, they got some starting reps, under their belt, and then that's just going to help us. But as far as Yabusele is concerned, I know there's been some talk about his weight lately. I'm really not concerned about that because the other thing that they was also talking about is that when you see people on TV, they look much, much heavier, especially if you're sitting courtside at a game. And having the opportunity to sit courtside at least once a year, you get to see how thin these guys really are. So on TV, he may look the heaviest. He's actually heavier than everybody on our roster, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. When guys come from overseas, they're used to running. So Yabusele is going to help us tremendously. The numbers might not show right away, but gradually in time, he's going to pick that up. I'm also looking forward to see OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges is the X factor for me this season. Under Tom Thibodeau, he had a great year last year, but he wasn't unlocked. We didn't get to see all of the Mikal Bridges that we saw in Phoenix and that we saw with the Brooklyn Nets. But I think under this system, he's going to flourish. We're going to need that the way he can spread the court, be it shooting or also be it filling the lane. It's going to help us tremendously. I hope he's feeling confident in himself. I know that the coach is going to give him that full opportunity to do what it is you have to do to kick the Knicks into a whole nother gear. And then on the other side with OG Anunoby, I think running the floor is his best asset, although he can spot up and shoot, especially from the corner 3. But that tenacity that he brings, moving without the ball, being a magnet, is going to be much needed also, especially in his running gun and looking for the dime system that we're going to be in. And then you got to bring it down to to Deuce McBride and Jordan Clarkson and what they're able to bring to the team. So just a little bit about what's going to happen for tonight's game. We're going to talk about tomorrow morning to recap and see you next time. Peace.